The Anbernic RG35XXSP is finally in our hands. Let's see how this classic clamshell inspired design compares to the original, as well as comparing with other H700 processor based handhelds. The Anbernic is available in 4 colours: silver, grey, transparent black and transparent blue. The silver is obviously based on the classic silver theme, whilst the others are the more usual Anbernic themes. It measures around 3.5 by 3.3 by 1.06 inches when closed and weighs around 192 grams. The lid flips open to reveal a 3.5 inch IPS display with a 640 by 480 resolution. The resolution is great for retro gaming, as most upscale quite nicely to this resolution. On the lower half we have a classic D-pad, gaming buttons which are a bit clicky, and a menu button at the top. The left side has a volume button, and the right side has a power button and reset button. The front has a 3.5mm audio jack and 2 micro SD card slots. Inside the first is the OS and some space left for games. The second is empty and can be used for extra game storage. The back has a pair of left and right buttons, and in between is a micro HDMI port for output to a display, and there's a USB Type-C port for charging. And the bottom has a removable cover if you need to replace the battery. The lid features a magnetic switch that will put the device into sleep mode when closed and instantly wake up when opened. It's great for quick pick up and play whilst travelling. It will use some battery life though, so only use it if you are intending to come back to it sooner rather than later. Available separately is a case for the handheld. It is a hard shell case with a soft finish that zips up around the side. The top half has some storage space and the bottom half is for the handheld. It fits quite nicely inside, and of course the original SP fits in just fine as well in case you were wondering. A brief comparison of the RG35XXSP to the original. The Anbernic is ever so slightly larger in size than the original. Visually they look very similar, even down to the double hinge design. The Anbernic has a larger display, and the difference in quality is chalk and cheese. You have the 2 extra gaming buttons on the front that are the major difference. The sides are a bit different, as the cartridge slot is replaced with the micro SD cards, and the volume slider on the original is replaced with buttons. And on the back we have different ports and 2 extra gaming buttons. It's a nice job by Anbernic to keep the design as close as possible to the original. The Anbernic RG35XXSP features the H700 quad-core processor, which we have seen in a few devices this year. It's a good processor that will run up to PS1 and Dreamcast era fairly well. There's 1GB of LPDDR4 RAM, and the storage is via the micro SD card. For communications there's Wi-Fi 5 and Bluetooth 4.2 for connecting an external controller to. You can output to a TV or monitor via the HDMI ports at the top. Simply connect an HDMI cable, power on, and it outputs to 720p. We did not have any issues with games running on it. There's a 3300 mAh battery, which depending on what system you're playing on will get you around 6 to 8 hours. We have read some discussions about the temperatures whilst playing the higher demanding systems such as Dreamcast. We let it run a while whilst playing a Dreamcast game and got a highest temperature of 37 degrees, which is nothing to worry about. Anbernic have been improving their lower end handheld menus this year, and overall whilst quite basic they still do the job. You have the native games menu, which covers a variety of systems ranging from PSP and arcade right down to WonderSwan. Next is the RetroArch menu, which has a wider selection of systems. Again, everything from PSP to WonderSwan, but additional systems such as the excellent Pico 8, Atari and Sega systems, and more, including some game ports. Simply select a system, browse the games available for it, pick one and it loads straight into the game. Whilst playing you can press the menu button to bring up the menu. Depending if you are using native or RetroArch, there's options for quitting out, save and load states, etc. There's an app centre with music and video player, as well as an ebook reader for some non-gaming activities. And on the settings screen there are some options for date and time, language, network settings, etc. The menu is basic in appearance, but it's fast and easy to navigate, which is what you want on a handheld. We know from other H700 devices that the processor is good for emulating up to the PS1 and Dreamcast. You shouldn't have any issues from the earliest right up to the later era. So we will spend a few moments with the more demanding systems and check out some of the earlier in our final thoughts part after this.
Brick by brick, building up a scene. Lightsabers flashing, you know what I mean. DS in my hand, it's a Jedi's dream. From Tatooine to Hoth, rebels on my team, collecting every stud, unlocking all the doors in this galaxy far away. We're always want more. That's one ignited, hit the ridge, race the streets, drifting through the curves, feel the heat, nitro boosting fast. Can't be beat. Cars flying by, rivals in defeat. From dusk till dawn, racing to the beat. Victory in sight, that's the ultimate feat. Don't get back. In 64, controller taken to the skies. Helicopters roaring, missions on the rise. Missiles locking targets, enemies despise. Strategic moves gotta be wise. Explosions lighting up the night, oh, no disguise. In nuclear strike, we're the heroes, no surprise. There's 60 there's 60 there's 60. Dreamcast spinning, serving up the ace. Verdue attendance, fast-paced race. Racket swinging hard, set the pace. Net game strong, never leave a trace. On the court, we dominate the space. Grand Slam dreams, we in first place. Vice City streets, PSP in hand, rise to the top, taking over the land, missions on the go. Got the world plan, gang wars, fast cars, making a stand. From rags to riches, it's all so grand. In the city of Vice, we're the ultimate brand.
At the price point, the Anbernic RG35XXSP is great value for money. You can run right up to Dreamcast and PSP with this chipset, something that a couple of years ago wouldn't be possible at this price. The clamshell design, in my opinion, is great. It fits easily in your jeans pocket and won't have any issues in your jacket pocket or a bag. The sleep mode works well enough. You can fold it closed and have it in your pocket in moments, and just as fast to get it back into the action. The smaller size remains still comfortable in your hands to play on for a good length of time. If you are watching a video or listening to music, you can even put it on a desk unaided. Talking about time, the battery life is very good, around 8 hours give or take. That's a decent length of time and enough to get you through the day. The supposed heat issues are not really a concern as we have shown. The Anbernic RG35XXSP is an excellent entry-level handheld if you are looking to dip your toes into retro gaming handhelds. But here's the thing, I have tried just about every handheld out there, and for the design, portability and price, I think it's still worth considering getting one for the collection. You can learn more about the Anbernic RG35XXSP and order yours today from DroiX.co.uk or DroiX.net for worldwide shipping. Use the code RGSP50FF for 5% off on the checkout. The code is valid for 1 month of this review being posted and cannot be used during store sales or other promotions. That wraps up our Anbernic RG35XXSP review. We hope you have found it useful. Please take a moment to subscribe so you won't miss out on our next review. Thanks, and we will see you back in the next one.